Hello everybody, my name is Clayton and thank you so much for joining my channel today. Guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. Turn that notification bell on as well. You'll get videos every single time I upload one. You'll be notified and then you can, go in and watch it, get reassurance. And please, if I could just ask one thing of you, would be to like this video. The reason I beg you to do that is because the more you like it, the more they throw my videos in there where somebody who has depression, anxiety, or anything like that, they can research this and find this channel and get reassurance as well, as I'm attempting to give you guys some. Today we're going to be talking about me, the guy behind the camera, everything about my mental health, where it began, and there was a bunch of questions that I've gotten from you guys have asked me personally, direct message. I won't read your names or anything like that, but I'll go ahead and answer some of those questions in this video. So my name's Clayton. I'm very tall. I'm like 6'5". I think I'm a pretty good person overall. I do like to be hanging with my family, my friends. That's what I find most enjoyable. I love sports, just typical guy things. I love gaming. And I'll go ahead and begin with the most important topic is, when did my mental health problems begin? Well, all my life, I never really considered myself an anxious person. I wasn't really nervous about life and death and anything like that. I was invincible around up to 18 years old. I think it was 18 and a half. 18 and 19 years old. I had my first panic attack sometime in the summer. I was at Cracker Barrel and I was eating. After I got done eating, my heart just started beating really fast, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? Why is it beating so fast? So I started getting in my head, just talking to myself, what's going on? Why is it beating so fast? And then I started gasping. I started I couldn't breathe. I felt very, very, very anxious. It was like a wave of fear that just smacked me. I began to get sweaty, shaky, tunnel vision as well. The one thing I do remember about the panic attack is when you're having a panic attack and you think you're about to die, you're not really worried about the situation around you. You're just trying to get the hell out of wherever you are, you want to get away from. So I was surrounded by a whole bunch of people. It freaked everybody out. They were like, what's going on with him? That led to somebody calling 911. The ambulance came. They checked my blood pressure. It was through the roof. It was 200 something. And this is back when I was skinny. I was in good health. I was actually, exercising every day and playing basketball and stuff. I was really good health, but my blood pressure was still through the roof. It was crazy how anxious I was. Well, they came to the conclusion I was having a panic attack, and I was. So they kind of just talked to me about football or whatever, and just to get my mind off of things. The one thing they told me, though, really reassuring, is you're not having a heart attack. Because back then I thought, oh my God, I'm getting ready to have a heart attack. Something's going on. And, they did an EKG and they were like, no, everything's okay on the EKG. You're fine. Your blood pressure's just really high. You're just really, really nervous. 10 to 15 minutes later, and it was in the 130s, 84 or something. I was just not nervous at all. I figured, okay, well, it was just a panic attack. I'm good now, right? Well, no, not really. A panic attack actually led to a panic disorder at the very beginning. I was afraid of when my next panic attack was going to come. I hated them. I was afraid to go and shopping or anything like that. I was afraid to be in public because of a panic attack would occur. Being diagnosed with panic disorder, they started treating me with Prozac, and Prozac didn't really do anything for me at all. I started getting really, really just bad anxiety. It wasn't panic attacks were coming on anymore. It just kind of changed over to constant anxiety and constant worry all day long. And that just sucked the life out of me. I have panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, depression. Panic disorder and the panic attacks were separate from my anxiety. So when I had panic attacks, normally my anxiety would be pretty low, consistently, and the panic attacks would just come. But when you had anxiety, it also led to depression because you just felt like you couldn't do anything with your life. You just can't have a happy life and be anxious all the time. I started getting treatment and they switched me to Zoloft. Now Zoloft helped me and it worked wonders. The 50 milligrams. Like before I took Zoloft, I was living in constant fear of just collapsing and dying. I was afraid to exercise. I was afraid to get up and clean the house. I was afraid to take out the trash. I was afraid to do all these hobbies and stuff like that. But then I started taking Zoloft and I actually started following proper treatment and I felt like I had my life back. I've never really been like the controlling type, but I was trying to control things in my life to where I was trying to control my health. And in turn, like, my health was actually controlling me the whole time. It affected what I did. It affected who I talked to. It affected so many things. So having chronic anxiety up until now has led me to the hospital 17 times. I've had all those times, every single time, I've had an EKG done, 15 chest x-rays, every single time blood work, and 8 times I had an echocardiogram. All of it came back normal. I was flipping out, I was starting to remember the doctors' names in the hospital and the nurses that worked there. I knew them like personally. I went so much. So having chronic anxiety, they just upped my Zoloft. Now I'm taking 100 milligrams. Anxiety has caused me to gain so much weight. It's caused me to lose a lot of self-esteem and how I feel about myself. But in the end, I'm still trying to fix all the things that anxiety has done to me. So now I'm gonna get into some questions that some viewers have actually wrote me. Some were private messaged. Others were little comments when I posted in some groups. So jumping into the first question, does anxiety ever make you dizzy? I constantly feel lightheaded after standing or doing any activity. So actually, yeah, I have felt dizzy and it was very bad. It was feeling like I was on some type of dock, like a floating dock, and I was just on these waves and it was back and forth. And I actually mentioned this, I believe in one of my first videos that I ever did. It was the 5 most common anxiety symptoms. This was listed because this dizziness, man, is no joke. It is scary. And these weren't dizzy spells. This was constant dizziness. It was terrible. Have you fully recovered from anxiety? I've been wondering if that's even possible at this point. I haven't fully recovered. I still get anxious. I still get panicky from time to time. But it takes a lot of, it just takes time. The anxiety recovery isn't just something that's just magic. It's not gonna be you have anxiety one day and then you don't the next. If you have it, it takes a lot of work and a lot of time. How has anxiety changed you as a person? Well, that one's tough because you have so many people out there that don't really know what you're going through. You have a lot of people that don't know what it's like to suffer with something like this. There's kind of a stigma with anxiety. It kind of means that you're weak, and a lot of people still think that today. But I don't know. Anxiety has affected my life to the point, it's affected so many relationships, so many friendships, so many things you just can't take back. So many memories and I think the biggest thing is just so many things that I could have done with this time that I spent worrying. All the potential that I had to do something great was just spent worrying about something that's not even there. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single view that I get on these videos. They really mean a lot. Whether it's just one, if I could change one person's life, if I can help one person all this time and this effort would be so worth it. I just want to know that I'm making an impact on one of you guys out there. So drop a comment, tell me your story, tell me how anxiety has affected your life, how are things going for you now. Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much again, and I'll see you back here next time.